Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Jack, the muscle and mobility maker with Stronghold Strength and Conditioning. And today, I'm going to be showing you some simple moves that you can do to assess your ankle mobility right from home. But before we get into it, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine. And it doesn't get better than that. So take advantage of it. Ready? Let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, like I said, today I'm going to be showing you how to assess your ankle mobility. So first of all, it's important to understand that there's going to be 4 movements that we're going to be assessing. We're going to do ankle dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, we're going to do inversion and eversion of the ankle. So those are the 4 that we're going to actually look at, those movements of the ankle. And they're just going to be simple things that you could do right at home to give yourself a good idea of where your ankle mobility currently stands and how your ankle mobility might be currently limiting you. Now, anytime we're talking about ankle mobility, it's also important to keep in mind that your foot health is very important to how well your ankle is going to function at the same time. So if your ankle mobility is limited, it's important to pay attention to what is also happening down below the ankle at the foot structure to make sure that your ankle limitation isn't coming from down below. So that's important to keep in mind as you're doing this. If you need help with that, I do have a video that I'll link right about here that you can watch on strengthening your feet, building nice strong feet. And I also have another one that is how to improve your ankle mobility, because today we're going to be focusing on just the assessment in the first place. So knowing whether or not you got limitations there that really need worked on, and going from there, we can go ahead and use that other video to help improve your ankle mobility. So I'll link both of those. I'll put them here. I'll put them down in the description. You'll have access to those so that you can use those as other references to help improve from where you're currently at, from what you find. But let's go ahead and start looking at these simple measures that you can use at home to decide whether or not you need to be working on your ankle mobility actually. All right, for our first test, we're going to be testing ankle dorsiflexion. Place a 1x6 against a wall, put your toes right up to it, and then drive the knees over the toes as close to the wall as possible without letting the heel pick up off the floor. Now, I use a 1x6 because technically it's not 6 inches and it's about 5, maybe a little extra. So if you want to do this without the block, you can measure off about 5 inches from the wall and then drive those knees over the toes as far as you can here to see how those sides compare. You want to see if there's any imbalances from side to side as you're testing this one in your ankle dorsiflexion here. Even a simple air squat is a great way to look at your ankle dorsiflexion in action here. You should notice my knees do track forward toward my toes. They also open up toward the smaller toes. I shouldn't have a vertical shin. There should be some movement forward toward the toes. If my shin is too vertical, that usually means that I don't have the ankle mobility. I'm getting blocked at my ankles. It'll also make my squat more hip dominant. The other thing you'll see is that your feet will want to turn out if you lack that ankle dorsiflexion. A good test is to take the feet more narrow and more parallel to really see how your ankle dorsiflexion looks in action. Next, we can use the couch stretch to assess our ankle plantar flexion. So this is our ability to point those toes, and here we're looking at basically the flexibility of the anterior side of the shin versus the strength of the posterior side of the shin. So I'm using a couch stretch position to really test. Level 1 would be hands on the floor. Level 2, we're getting up a little more vertical. Level 3, I'm able to get all the way toward my butt to my heels, and I'm able to actually keep my ankle in a comfortable flat position against the wall here while I'm pressing into it and even activating the glutes in this position. So this is a great test to look at where your ankle sits. If the couch stretch is a bit much to start for you, you can also start to work on sitting seiza. So this is butt to heels, a nice flat shin to the floor, no arch between your ankle and the floor there, and just getting comfortable in this position. And lastly, inversion and eversion. Here we're looking at inversion, looking how closely we can get the bottoms of our feet to stretch toward one another together. When we reverse that and reach the big toes away from one another, then we're looking at eversion. You can kind of go back and forth between these two, feel where there's limitations in your ability to reach the foot either toward one another or away from one another. And we're looking again for little imbalances or differences from side to side that stand out to you, whether that's internally how they feel or visibly how they look. And that goes for any of these tests that we've done. So if there's any differences or imbalances side to side, those are things you can look to improve to help bring in more balance to your body and overall better function. All right, and there you have it. How to test your ankle mobility in a few simple moves and positions overall that you can do right from home. If you like this video, make sure you let me know by clicking that big thumbs up down below, and take a moment to share this one with a friend. Maybe they struggle with squats or something along those lines. Pass it along so they could see if it's actually their ankle mobility that's limiting them in their movement overall. If you're somebody who's been struggling with a training ache or injury and it's been hindering your performance in the gym or out on the field or in the court, then you're ready to resolve it at this point in time and you'd like my help, what I want you to do is drop down below into the description and fill out a coaching application to schedule your mobility blueprint call. This will be our opportunity to get on a Zoom call together so that I could first of all take you through an assessment, gather the information I need to tailor a program specific to your needs, and then lay out for you in full detail on that call what that program is going to look like to answer any questions that you have also at that time. So if that sounds good to you, drop down below in that description, schedule that call, and we'll get you moving in the right direction. Last but not least, if you have not already, make sure you take a moment and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on future content like this. Every Saturday, I'm putting out videos showing you how to resolve aches and pains, prevent injuries, and overall optimize your performance inside the gym and outside of it in your daily life and routine, and it does not get better than that. Welcome to the Stronghold Army. We'll see you next week.